Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. Coming to you from just off the New Jersey Turnpike in East Rutherford. We are just about set for football on EA Sports from MetLife Stadium. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He's got time in the pocket, and his first look is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Steve Smith that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Third and long for Joe Flacco. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Lorenzo Molden in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Now the longtime Raven punter, Sam Cook, on to punt it away. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their quarterback in his 12th season in the league, and second at the helm of the Jets, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
How about the career he's had? I mean, if he's hanging jerseys on the wall at his house.
He's got quite a few.
Quite a few, right? St. Louis, Cincinnati, right? Buffalo.
And Tennessee, Houston.
And now the Jets. And the offseason, boy, who knew how much he meant to a team? And you saw the reaction of the Jets players when they thought maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick wouldn't re-sign with them. They wanted him back in a big way, especially his receivers. One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Ten yards to go on 3rd.
Watch 14, watch 14. Single, slot. Hey, blue 45. Over. Double up. Under.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
On 1st down, this is Forte. And he'll take this one down to the 36. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
When it comes to Elvis Dumervil, just throw your tape measure right out. He fits none of the qualities that you're looking for in terms of height, weight, speed. But he gets to the quarterback and puts him on his back.
Again, they run. Again, it's Forte. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And Folk's kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
After the main field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the defense for New York.
Muhammad Wilkerson is one of the most versatile defensive linemen in the league. You can play him at any spot and expect big-time production.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. On the draw, Flacco to Dixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I go play action down the road.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Flacco finds his man, Watson, over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score, and we will return. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On 3rd and short, it's Dixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
It's a high kick and hit pretty well. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Forte. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. So the carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
The play clock's running down. On 3rd and 1, here's Fitzpatrick. And able to find Decker. And a gain there of 11 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They stay on the ground. Forte again. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll try and get it with Forte. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, and thinking along with the offensive coordinator here, I think he felt like he could pop one big because the defense has been aggressive today. Instead, they figured it out and made a nice play.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going. It's Fitzpatrick. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Flacco will take to the air again. And Watson has it right side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. Here's Flacco. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain, and it's second down.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll try again with Dixon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kenneth Dixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And his kick is right through. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back in.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Forte, the lone running back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Intentional grounding, offense.
So the intentional grounding penalty on the quarterback, 10 yards.
If you're not outside of the pocket, the flag will come out every time.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Hey, move, 45. Over, under.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick surveying the field. Going deep now for Decker. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Over the middle to Smith. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come up in an offset eye. They start on the ground with Forte. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA. Hey, Charles, you give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out here in the eye. They start the second half with a run by Forte. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second down following the run.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. And en route, going into a little bit of traffic, maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie Tavon Young. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
On second down, it's Dixon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, somewhat. You've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They'll get 16 yards there, and it's good for a New York 1st down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
A running play now for Forte. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
There's so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Fitzpatrick with a give to Forte. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Terrell Suggs, a good sight there, back from another Achilles injury last season. He's able to get in and make the play. Fitzpatrick now going to give to Forte. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Play clock winding down. Here's Fitzpatrick. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Holding, defense.
And you as a former defender should know that the referees are watching this closely, defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys, but in this case, they were strict with the rule.
A lone second remains now in this third quarter.
Move, 45. Under.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And it's a big turnover there on the final play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Wide open receiver complete. They'll get 23 yards there. And it'll give the Ravens a first down.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They stay on the ground with Dixon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. That room to run, just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
It was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, Flacco. This will be caught at about the 5. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And a look here now at Matt Forte. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the rookie Tavon Young. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Dixon on the give from Flacco. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And this one's high, but not very far. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Jets take possession. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. They played a great game. I guess the only thing they would really have hoped for other than this outcome would have been a shutout, but they've got a lot to hang their hat on.
They really do, and you don't get that very often anyway. A shutout is really elusive. So they'll take this.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. Spike it, he faked it. Finding time. Now a desperation throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lardarius Webb. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football.
And a loose football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. Room here to run, and a cutback right sideline. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. And he missed it. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to lose either way, but the game ends strangely on a missed PAT. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those?